Hey, how's it going? It's your boy ChiefsRaysBolts here, once again joined alongside my boy Casey here, A'sRaidersDubsSharks. We are doing another playoff stream. Haven't done one of these in a little bit. You remember the last time?
I think it was Seattle Kraken NHL expansion
That
draft.
would, yeah, you'd be correct. Cool. All right, so it's
Yeah.
been a little bit of time, but we're ready to get back into this thing. This time we're talking 2021 Major League Baseball postseason. It's going to be exciting regardless of who's on the TV. I think it's going to be a fun year because it's, really the first time in 2 years that we've had a postseason with full fans. So it's going to be fun, I feel like. So,
Yeah.
um, with that being said, I guess let's just quickly recap the Boston versus New York wild card. I guess I'll start off since I'm a fan of a division rival of both these teams. Fuck the Yankees. I'm so glad they lost. There is nothing more joyful than seeing the Yankees season come to an end and come to an end in a one-game wild card. It's like an early Christmas. You know what I mean? For Rays fans like myself at least. It's a beautiful thing to witness. And you know what? I'll see you next year, New York. all that money. All that money you pay Garrett Cole and he can only get you what, 6 outs? Yeah.
That's very true. Yeah, for me, I mean, as an American League sport or I guess team fan, the A's obviously, I dislike both these teams and Moneyball just like the Rays, right? So I'm kind of despise and resent of these big money spending teams. And
Mm-hmm.
also, the Yankees beat us in the wild card 3 years ago in 2018. So I still had a chip on my shoulder from that. So, I was definitely rooting for Boston. I mean, that being said, I don't like Boston by any means, but it is cool seeing the Yankees out this early, especially like you said with that huge payroll, close to $300 million, just to lose in a one game setting with what was presumably one of the best pitchers out there, but like you said, can only get through a couple innings.
I
So
mean,
pretty funny.
I think it's justice served. You go out and you spend that much money on guys like Garrett Cole just to get bounced in the one game wild card. It's beautiful, believe me.
Yeah,
All night I was jamming this. You know what I mean? I don't know if you can
yeah,
hear it. New
yeah,
York theme. Oh my god, I love it. So, anyways, the Yankees lose. We'll see them next year. So
yeah,
be it. All right. So and then tonight's game just came to an end. The Dodgers
yeah,
versus the Cardinals, and I was pulling for the Cardinals so hard. I threw on a St. Louis Blues shirt just to like rep up St. Louis because listen, to me the Dodgers are the Yankees of the West. Every team on the West hates their fan base, just as the teams on the East hate the Yankees fan base. They have the largest payroll in the National League, so just naturally you despise them as a small market team, um, a
right.
fan of a small market team, I should say. But it was it was really one of those things where I was like, oh, if the Yankees and the Dodgers both get bounced in the wild card, that would be the most beautiful sight in the history of beautiful sights. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. St. Louis couldn't pull it off, despite having a however many game win streak they just had less than a month ago. I think it was 17 wins, 18 wins, something
Yep.
like that. It was a crazy amount, and a lot of people were thinking, okay, this team can do a lot. They can go far in the playoffs because they've been putting together some nice wins recently. But no, they choke heavily. I feel like. Well, I don't. I guess
They do.
it just depends on how you define choke. But some people are going to be saying that. Listen, when you can't score, um, with runner when you go 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position, you don't deserve to win the game. Straight up, you don't deserve to win. And the Dodgers, um, they just they pulled it off at the end, walk off home run, and they're off to face the Giants. So let's go ahead and talk
Yeah,
about that series: Dodgers versus Giants. Who do you have winning
yeah.
this?
Ooh, this is going to be quite possibly the best series in all of
Oh
this
yeah,
playoffs. I think.
oh yeah.
The two best teams in baseball. West Coast rivalry. It's been a rivalry for over 60 years. I got the Giants. Giants have surprised a lot of people, and I'm going by the Giants because I think they've been the better team, even though the division has been so close. I think head to head, the Giants are better. And just putting it out there, this is completely unbiased. I despise both these teams. Because Giants, their fans tend to rub it in, being local to the Giants, especially Dodgers, like you mentioned, we hate their fan base, right?
Of course.
So I think the series is definitely undoubtedly going to go to 5 games. I can't see it going under. I don't see one team as significantly better. I think it's going to come down to the Giants' ability to be clutch. Lamonte Wade, I mean, I hardly knew who he was a year ago, and I hear every week, so to speak, like he is just hitting so well in the clutch. And I think that's about the playoffs. I mean, you look at the game tonight, it was all about being clutch. And the Dodgers had good pitching tonight, and they had good hitting in the clutch. Taylor, I mean, obviously that was the game winner. And I think I got the Giants. I don't know, but I think it could go either way. I'm not going to by a lot. I think it's going to be like very close, extra innings maybe in some of these games. And yeah.
Well, the Dodgers had 106 wins. The Giants had 107. So they're neck and neck. They're in the same division. They're neck and neck. I'm trying to pull up their head-to-head this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I wish there was just a.
I think the Giants had the edge. I'm not sure.
You think what?
I think it was probably close.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I can't find it. Actually, this might be it right here. The Giants are 10-9. 10-9. So that's been incredibly neck and neck. So yeah, undoubtedly I'd say this is going to be a 5-game series. Like, it's gonna go to the brink.
Yeah.
It's gonna be exhilarating, and it's gonna be damn fun to watch for baseball fans. And it will be damn fun for baseball fans if the Dodgers get bounced this round. Because let's be real, the Giants are not as annoying as the. You know what though? I've never had any disliking towards the Giants fan base. I feel like they've always been pretty chill. You know what I mean? They're not like the Dodgers and the Yankees. So yeah, I really don't mind the Giants. I don't mind their team. They got a beautiful stadium, as you know. You live close to there, and yeah. But honestly, the thing for me here is like, I'm not rooting for the Giants, but I'm rooting for good old Evan Longoria. You know what I mean? Like, this is actually the first time he'll be playing in the playoffs since 2013 with the Rays.
Wow.
Speaking of 2013 with the Rays, that playoff run, we lost in the ALDS to none other than the Boston Red Sox. So let's move on to the Boston Red Sox series. But right before we do, I'm just gonna say this. I think you said the Dodgers were gonna win, or did you say the Giants were gonna win?
I have the Giants.
And you know what? I'm gonna say Giants in 5 myself as well, because they've just recently they haven't slowed down. They haven't slowed down since the very beginning of the season. I don't see them slowing down in this series. I got Giants in 5. So, anyways, back to Boston, Tampa. Listen, we owe them a little bit of payback, I feel like, and I'm looking forward to this very, 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 very much. You know what? We're going to have Troptober again. It's going to be so beautiful. It's going to be a packed Tropicana field against, a team that we hate as Rays fans, the Boston Red Sox.
Right.
So it's going to be great. We've actually played Boston very well this year. I think not the last time we had a series against them, but we swept them in Boston once this year, I feel like. Or was it? No, it was in Tampa. We swept them in Tampa once this year. They swept us in Fenway the second series of the season. So, like, you're talking way back in April. I don't count that, right?
Yeah.
The Red Sox are a tricky team because when they didn't go out and get anybody at the deadline, the fans of the Red Sox were just pissed off. They're like, really? We're having a good season going into the All-Star break and you don't do anything at the deadline? And so they slowed down after the All-Star break. They did, and they haven't been as dominant as they were in the first half. But I think Tampa is pretty easily the favorites in this series. Now, I want to say easily. Like, it's a division rival. It's not going to be easy. But nonetheless, this is the first time really ever that the Rays have been like favorites to like go on to the next round. It's crazy because we just put together the best franchise record in ever. 100 wins, never hit 100 before until this season. And this is an exciting team. Let me tell you what, I've never been this excited for the Rays ever before, and it's going to be so fun. I'll be at Tropicana Field tomorrow and then the following day on Friday. So, if any Rays fan watching this video from my channel is like going to be tailgating and shit, I will be there too. So come on by, say hi, man, because like it's going to be a blast, dude. We're going to be just chilling out in the parking lot of the Trop for a couple hours before first pitch. It's going to be such a fun time. But anyways, I want to hear your take on this series, Casey.
Well, first of all, I wish I had the same excitement right now about my team, but
I'm sorry.
besides the point. Yeah. Anyways, I got you guys in 3.
In 3, you think we're going to pull off a sweep here?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been following these 2 teams very closely, but like the Red Sox, they're a good team, but I don't know. I just feel like it's going to be a sweep. Yeah. Good visual representation.
I'll be ready if it happens. I've been keeping this up here the whole season for when we do sweep teams, which has been a pretty frequent occurrence. We swept the Marlins to end the final homestand of the season. It's been fun to be a Rays fan this year, probably more than ever before. And we're talking 23 years of baseball in the Tampa Bay area. So I mean, this is going to be a fun time. I'm not going to go out and say the Rays are going to sweep because it's a division rival, and it's going to be, these games won't be the easiest to win. I mean, at the end of the day, you've still seen each other 19 times this season, so you kind of know what you're looking for by now with the pitches that certain pitchers will throw and whatnot. The Rays have Shane McClanahan starting in the first game, which he's been solid this year, no complaints at all. And then in Game 2, we're starting Shane Baz. So Game 1, Shane. Game 2, Shane. But Shane Baz, who's only pitched 3 major league, 2 or 3. We just called him up from Durham like last month. He actually played for the USA team in the Olympics this year. So I mean, he's the real deal. He's legit. These first couple starts he's had, he's won all of his games. He's looked dominant. He was one of our top prospects. Not to mention, in case you were unaware of this, you remember that Chris Archer trade a couple years ago to the Pirates? We give the Pirates Chris Archer. The Pirates give us Austin Meadows, Tyler Glasnow, and a player to be named later. That player to be named later was Shane Baz, who is now like just tearing it up with us in Tampa, and it's these 2 games are going to be very, very fun to watch with the pitching that both the Shanes have put up recently. It's going to be a fun series. And honestly, I got Tampa in 4. I'm not going to say 3. I'm not going to say a sweep, but I think 4 is likely. I'm going to say Tampa in 4. Moving on. White Sox, Astros. Yeah.
Obviously, I think we can both agree we hate the Astros, but
of course,
they're a good team. I can't deny it. With or without cheating, they're a good team. With that being said, the White Sox, I can't tell if they're the real deal or not, because obviously we looked to last year. We beat them in the wild card in 3 games. They got a good team. Not undeniably, but they're also in the easiest division in arguably all of baseball. Definitely the American League, maybe all of baseball. You could make the case for that. So that also means they have a lot of easy head-to-head matchups in the regular season. I could see this series going to 4 or 5. I got to go with Houston, though. I just think they're the better team all around. I think the White Sox are a great team, but I don't think they're to this level. And I mean, the Astros, obviously had a better record and everything. I see Astros in 4.
Believe it or not, the Vegas betting odds came out, I think, yesterday for like World Series, the betting line for the World Series champion this year. And as far as the American League goes, the favorites in the American League are the Houston Astros. Despite the Rays having 7 or 8 more wins than they had this year. Okay, listen, I guess the reason is because we just played the Astros and lost that series 2-1. The way that the Rays played the Astros in that series, I wouldn't be scared of them at all if we meet up in the ALCS. They don't scare me. I don't care that we just lost that series. You can make the argument that we shouldn't have. We deserved that Game 1. There was just some bad calls that were made, which could be true. I mean, the Astros pretty much just walked it off in the night. So, I mean, these aren't close. I mean, well, not... They're close games is what I'm saying. They're close games. It's not like the Astros are just blowing us out. So the Astros to me aren't a big threat if they were to meet up with the Rays in the LCS. That being said, I still think they're better than the White Sox. I think they're better than the White Sox.
Yeah. Same. Yeah.
But the White Sox are streaky. The White Sox are
Yeah.
streaky, and I
Sure.
in playoffs, doesn't matter what sport, in the playoffs, you have to call at least one upset, and that's why I'm taking the White Sox in this series. I'm taking them in 5. White Sox in 5
Wow.
go on to the ALCS.
Hope you're right. I hope you're right. I mean, I'd be very surprised, but I hope you're. I mean, to your point, they are very streaky. They kind of remind me of a better version of the A's. Like, if they can get hot, they're going to go on a series and on a good streak in that series. And to your point, I mean, as someone whose team played the Astros like 9 times in the last month of the MLB, Astros were really not that good. They really weren't. We swept them, and we were on the decline. So I don't know. It could have just been late season fatigue, but I got to go with the Astros. I'm still sticking with the Astros, but I think you could be onto something with the fact that the White Sox, when they're hot, they get really good, and they do have a lot of good pitching talent as well. So we'll see what
Speaking
happens.
speaking of that pitching talent, my next point that I was going to bring up in this series is the main White Sox closer, at least the way I understand it, is Liam Hendricks. And when he gets
Yeah,
on, he is on. But he has
yeah, he
bad
does.
days. He has a lot of bad days, in
Yeah,
fact.
yeah,
Obviously, after the way I saw when I was paying attention to the White Sox this year was that after that Field of Dreams game, when Hendricks, what did Hendricks do that game? I feel like he let the Yankees tie it or something. I don't remember, but
yeah. Stand home run.
okay. My point is
Yeah,
Hendricks he has a reputation for being a good pitcher. Can he
yeah,
continue to be that good pitcher? Because it seems like when I've watched him in recent weeks, he's been kind of letting these teams back into the game. So if he can get on his stuff, if he can turn it on, then the White Sox are a dangerous team. And I think
for
it's going to be
sure.
one of those series where the White Sox just everything kind of clicks for them and they move
Yeah,
they move on to the ALCS. So I got Sox in
yeah,
5.
exactly.
Braves,
Yeah,
Brewers.
yeah. Okay, yeah. I got the Brewers winning this. And I mean, the Brewers are just a really good team. I don't know if there's much of an explanation. I mean, I'm not a huge National League person, but from what I've seen, the Braves are coming off a division that really isn't that competitive. The Mets have been pretty bad. Phillies are iffy. I mean, they won that division, and I kind of was scratching my head because I remember they were a pretty bad team, at the beginning of this year. Milwaukee, on the other hand, is in a division with the Cardinals and the Reds, and both of them are doing really well. Or did really well, I guess now. But the Brewers have been a stellar team. I mean, they clinched their division weeks ago, and I got them winning in 4. I'm going to say Atlanta wins one game, maybe at home, and it's going to be on like a walk off or something fluky, or an error that costs Milwaukee the game. But I got Milwaukee winning this. They're a great team this year, and I know it's interesting. I think with both of our teams, whenever they send off players that don't seem good, they do good. And Willie Adames, I think, could be a good example of that with Milwaukee, for his former player right there. It's same with us. Like I feel like whenever we send off players, they do good, and I think Adames has been like a X factor for the Brewers
For sure.
in their season.
Speaking of Willie Adames, because I was going to bring that up, the
Yeah,
Rays traded him at the trade deadline for J.P. Fireisen and Drew Rasmussen. Drew Rasmussen is probably going to start Game 3 or 4 of this series. He's been pretty solid for the
yeah,
Rays. Drew Rasmussen has been pretty solid for the Rays. And then as for J.P. Fireisen, he has been one of my favorite bullpen guys this year. Since the trade
yeah,
deadline when we got him, he's been one of my favorite guys. Every time I hear Fire Icing come in, it's such a badass name, isn't it? Fire Icing. Fire Icing comes in
yeah,
every time, and I feel confident. So the fact that we even got anything for Willie Adames, and I get it, he's been great for the Brewers. Good for him. The fact of the matter is that he wasn't going to be like that with the Rays because we've had him since 2018, and he's been nothing but shit for us. He's had his moments. He'll hit a grand slam here and there. He'll hit a homer here and there. But other than that, he was one of our weakest players. And I know a lot of Rays fans were actually sad when we traded him because he brought a lot of energy to the team, and that is very true. He's one of the most energetic guys in the dugout. But that can easily, that can be. I mean, take a look at Brett Phillips. I mean, that can easily be replaced. You know what I mean? You don't need just one guy hyping up the entire team. This team is hyped enough on its own. You don't need Willie Adames. He was a solid defenseman, shit batter. The World Series games showed for it. The entire playoffs last year showed for it. So I was very happy when we traded him, and he's been doing great with Milwaukee. Good for him. The truth is that he wasn't going to do that for us. So the fact that we got anything from that trade, we got Fire Ice and Rasmus, and that's beautiful. So, anyways, I'm sorry I keep going on about Rays stuff, but anyways, I've been saying this for a while now, ever since the Milwaukee Bucks won the NBA championship. Remember last year, the hockey champion and the basketball champion, their two cities met up in the World Series. We're talking Los Angeles, Lakers won, the Lightning, Tampa won, you know what I mean? So I'm saying we're gonna keep the same. We're gonna keep the same thing this year. It's gonna be Brewers and the Rays in the World Series because Brewers, Milwaukee's basketball team won, our hockey team won again. So I'm just saying I probably spoke on my prediction too soon there, but my point is right now I think the Brewers are a heavy underdog if they have to go on to play the Giants. The Braves have been playing solid recently. The Braves have been playing fantastic baseball, so I think on paper they should win this series. But I like Milwaukee. And I like Milwaukee in 5.
Yeah, okay. That's definitely fair. I mean, we have similar predictions. Now, this is kind of an open-ended question, but if you had to give your World Series winner, I mean, I guess from the most unbiased standpoint you could give, from at this point right now in time, who do you got winning the trophy?
Hold on. Let me pause for a second here. You put the word unbiased perspective right before that. You expect me not to say the Rays? No.
Well,
it's way too early to judge. But what I'll say about the Rays is that their play recently has been fun. They've been good. It's not like they're going into the playoffs after having a couple of shitty series to end the regular season. It's actually quite the opposite. They've been playing very, very solid, including we ended the year, the regular season, with beating the Yankees 2 out of 3 games, and one of those games hitting 5 home runs up there in Yankee Stadium. Not to mention the one win the Yankees did have was a walk-off in the 9th. So I'm just saying the way the Rays have been playing recently, they're going to be fun to watch in the playoffs. I'm going to save my obviously, way too early call. Yeah, I'll say the Rays. I'll say the Rays. Why not? I'm a Rays fan. I kind of have to. I can't go against them. But, like we did for the NFL playoffs back in January, we would do a new stream, or not a stream, but we'd do a new video like this every week to look forward to the next round. Is that something you want to do for baseball here? Because I'm down. Yeah. All right, let's do it then. Yeah. Let's do it. So I guess this will be titled the ALDS preview. So I guess we can save our predictions for the ALCS, NLCS until the cards unfold.
Sure.
Yeah. So So all right. So I've got in my 4 series, I've got San Fran over LA. I've got Milwaukee over Atlanta. I've got the White Sox over Houston, and I have the Rays over the Red Sox. And let me write this down because that's what we did for the NFL this year. While I go get a piece of paper, go ahead and give me your 4.
Yeah, I mean, mine's basically the same. I got Tampa over the Sox. I got the only one I have different is I have Houston over the Shy Sox. I have Giants over the Dodgers, and I have the Brew Crew over the Braves.
All right. Any closing statements here?
All I'm saying is I'm hoping you guys make it because I think it would be awesome if all 3 Tampa teams could win a championship.
Going for the Triple Crown. I'd love it. We came so close. Yeah. We came so close this year, and the Rays lost the last World Series. One thing I do want to say about the Rays, I keep going on about my team. I'm sorry. It's just I know so much about them. I have to talk on it. The Rays, to me, really, really remind me of that Royals team about 6 years ago. If you recall correctly, the Royals put together this team of young players. They developed this winner, and they make it to the World Series and they fall short. What did they do the next season? They go back to the World Series and they win it.
Yeah.
I'm just
And
saying,
both, yeah.
it kind of feels like similar.
And both beat the A's in the wild card. So
Oh, jeez.
there you go. That's a good, yeah.
Sorry about that.
But yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, they were both kind of looking at the current Rays team and that Royals team. They're both very scrappy. They have very good individuals, and as a team, they fit together. And I think that's definitely a good comparison. I could definitely see the Rays going back. I am hoping San Francisco goes just so I can go to a game or multiple, but we'll see how it unfolds. I agree. It's way too early to predict. They will be expensive. That is very true. But we'll see what happens. And I think, all the teams remaining are good teams, very good teams, and they had to be this good to make it in the This isn't the NBA where it's like this isn't the NBA or the, heck, even the NFL with the new format where making it isn't really that difficult in the grand scheme of things. In baseball, it's like, especially before the wild card was a thing, just like 15 years ago.
8 teams would make, out of 30, 8 teams would make the playoffs. So, people like to make fun of teams like the Rays who hang up wild card banners in the rafters. Hey, man, look, it's not easy to make the playoffs in this league. You look at hockey, 16 teams make the playoffs, and it's a large field. So it's for sure an accomplishment for any team to make it to this big stage. And for the Rays to do it 3 years in a row now, something they've never done before, it's fun, it's exciting. And that's all I got for now. But again, I'll be at Tropicana Field tomorrow and Friday. I'm tailgating both days. I'll be there about 3 hours before the game actually starts. Looking forward to it. If anybody's watching this and is like, yo, I'm going to be there too, just come find me, man. Come find me. Let's chill for a bit. It's it's game day. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, well, good luck to your team, man.
Appreciate that.
That's a crazy accomplishment, being in the division series, something I've only been able to see like 3 times. So that's great. Yeah.
Right on. All right, so I guess for that, we'll just go ahead and call it here. I guess we'll do one of these again next week.
Yeah.
Next week.
Yeah, that'll be. Yeah.
Stay tuned, guys. Let us know your predictions down in the comments, of course. And make sure for both of our channels here, I'm assuming you're going to also upload this.
Well, I will. Yeah.
Leave it, like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, MySpace, Farmers Only. You know the vibes. All of the socials, baby. Yep. All of them.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I got for you. Right. See you later.
Yeah.
Peace.
Thanks, man. See you guys.